Today is April 2nd, 2024. Welcome to SBA Today. Tonya, what are we talking about today?
We are talking, oh shoot, we might go a little bit into politics, y'all. Okay, senators. Senators are not okay with direct lending. Imagine that.
Yay.
Yeah. Who is doing all the franchise lending? Yeah. And a need for small loan franchise lending as well. So those are our stories today that we'll get into. First, okay. All right. Y'all know since last week that I was in Key West all week getting my advanced dive certification. So got a couple of things around that now because I like to start with the personal and show you how it kind of comes back around to the business. Mine is lost in translation. Now, lost in translation with my dive instructor, not a good thing to do when you're diving a 100-foot wreck, the Vandenberg, right? So, yes. So, with the Vandenberg, there's really strong currents at times, and we had some funky weather when we went out. So, we get in the water, and typically, this is the sign to go down. Well, he wasn't attached to the rope. We're supposed to be attached to the rope to go down so the current doesn't take us. I'm originally attached, and he does this. He's not attached, so he's up at the top. So I'm like, okay. So I start trying to go down without holding the rope because I saw him. He did the signal. He wasn't holding the rope. And so I made an assumption, right? Lost in translation when it came to his signal and what to do. Well, I kind of got forcefully put back on that rope, rightfully so. Whose fault was that? Mine. Who takes responsibility? Me, because if that current takes me, peace out, I'm gone, right? All right, so there's that one. Then driving home, Paul, my goodness. So we're having a little bit of a financial disagreement with my daughter's dad as far as some things with her car. And we're driving home. We land. It's like, gosh, 12 something at night. By the time we're driving home, it's like almost 1. This is Sunday night. And she's like, well, I just want to go to dad's. I want to see my cats. I want to do this. He doesn't drive his car much. I can use his car since I don't have mine. And I was like, well, call and let him know. So she does. I hear her talking to him. I make the assumption all is well. I drop her off at dad's at like 1 a.m. So I got a little bit of a, yeah, you shouldn't have done that, blah, blah, blah. Again, lost in translation. She was the middleman there, right? And she was asking, I assumed that all was well. I trusted, but I didn't trust and verify. Lost in translation with the middleman. Now, bringing this around to business brokers, loan brokers, commercial brokers, all of our referral partners and those who are working with us. I've told this to my team many, many times because I've had a few instances with some of them that they've got their loan broker or business broker. God bless them. Of course, they want to get the deal done. That's part of what they do. And they're trying to help their borrower no different than us. However, when we get that deal, our responsibility is to the borrower. Get the middleman out of the way. Because again, when we're relaying information, especially to the business brokers that are supposed to be, to the selling broker basically, and or the commercial brokers relaying information, it's sometimes lost in translation what is being said. Who's going to be the responsible one? It's going to be us, right? So it's still on us to make darn sure that what we're relaying, whether to our borrower and or anybody else, is being relayed correctly. And it's not the kick the can or the can game that we played when we were little, because who knows what's going to be relayed by the time it gets to the other side. Anyway, trust but verify.
So true.
What about you?
Well done. No, that's 100% true. Well done.
Well, how about you tell us what's going on next?
Okay. Well, hey, on our first news story, so Senator Kennedy and Senator Scott introduced a Protecting Access to Credit for Small Businesses Act. I just love their names when they do these bills. The bill prohibits SBA from acting as a direct lender in the 7A program, and 11 other senators are co-sponsoring the bill. I think that's good news. Their quote that they said is, fraud and inefficiency characterize the Small Business Administration's history in direct lending. The government shouldn't crowd out private lenders that are already doing a good job in getting funds to small businesses that need them. So we'll see where this goes. But I definitely personally support this. What about you, Tonya?
Yeah, yeah, for the most part, yes. I mean, here's the thing. Even if they were to go that direction, my guess is they have to hire some decent lenders to do it. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, anybody that gets into the government programs, they've got a lot going on. So the amount of time and energy and expertise and whatnot in the other stage, not just checking to see if it's eligible, but my goodness, there's a heck of a lot more that goes on being lenders trying to hold hands and get some of these borrowers across the line. So yes, I personally think we need to hang on to it because we've got the most experience. So yeah, I'm with
100%.
you. Yeah,
100%. The government
absolutely.
is here and they're here to help, right?
Mhm. They are here to help. Yeah, you know,
Famous last
little
word.
background. Yeah. Yeah.
All
Give
right.
us
Well,
the
our
access
next
to
one, we
money and
got
then
to,
we'll divvy it out. Did you hear me? Give us the access to money, we'll divvy it out.
that's right. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway. All right. Do you want to put up that slide? We're going to talk some SBA franchise lending. Mhm. All righty. Check out who's doing the franchise lending in the industry and how it has changed from 2013 to 2023. So we've got some yeah, we've got some things going on here. It looks like there's some shifts or some,
Big
hopscotch
time.
that's been played as far as with the industry. Back in 2013, 401,000 was the average loan size on a franchise loan. All right, who were the big players in this? It was Wells Fargo first. They were the largest, JP Morgan Chase, US Bank, Huntington, and Simmons Bank. Okay, all the big guys, right? The big A papers for the most part, most of them.
Chase does
Then we
SBA lending?
what's that?
Chase
I
does
know.
SBA lending?
Well, that's probably why the average loan size was 401,000. If you
Okay,
think
got
about
it. Okay.
it, you got that, and then you've got a lot of the express loans that were probably going into play. We jump up to 2018, and in 2018, you've got 1,840 loans. So that's jumped significantly, tripled,
Yep.
right? And then the big players are Stearns, United Midwest, Wells Fargo, Simmons, and then Huntington. Oh, here comes Huntington. All right, he's down on the bottom there in 2018, and the average loan size was 338,000. So it dropped a bit. 2023, Paul. Holy moly. So
Yeah.
it significantly jumped and some serious hopscotch was played, or, I don't know if it was follow the leader or join me or what that was. But in 2023, there was 3,019 loans, Huntington being the big dog. And by big dog, more than half
Yeah.
of these franchise loans is Huntington Bank. And then you've got United Midwest, Live Oak Bank, First Bank of the Lake, and then ReadyCap. So here comes ReadyCap in there, and the average loan size 370,000. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting how all of us lenders, we play hopscotch in general, right? Sometimes, sometimes we're on the top of whatever we're doing, sometimes we're on the bottom, sometimes we're bringing. A lot of that has to do with, one, how much they have to lend, two, what their buckets look like, right? And so anyway, yep, that's where we're at with that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, a
How's
few
that
things
for
on
you?
there. Definitely the only one that has really been consistently being a lender in franchise lending is
Mhm.
Huntington Bank.
Right, right.
So great job to them, and they've only just
Mhm.
doubled down on that. And then I want to give a shout out to First Bank of the Lake. They are
No kidding.
definitely ramping that up through franchise lending. So
Yeah.
it's just it's interesting, just like anything. Who's doing the top five loans,
Mhm.
or the top 1%? How many? We did that a few weeks ago.
Right, right.
And this is no different. Like, people are understanding that this SBA program is phenomenal, and
Mhm.
Huntington really has that. And it's always interesting to me too. Again, the people on here who have kind of dropped off, and I
Right,
always want to know why. Like, I wish I knew why Chase was so big in 2013
right.
and why they're really not on the list anymore. Like, what happened? But hey, sometimes we'll never know.
Well,
Sometimes
I think
we'll never know.
2024 is gonna look way different as well because of removing the franchise directory, SBA's franchise directory, so the
What
requirements and whatnot around that.
what's fascinating, and what I look forward to stats on this. Hey, Lumos, I'd love a stat on this.
Oh, yeah.
Um, I want to see all of a sudden what they're doing with 7-Eleven and FedEx, because really those weren't before.
Right.
They weren't okay before, and now they kind of are. So now I want to
Right.
see, are people just opening up the floodgates to do this? And then long term, what's some of the risk on that?
Well, we
It'd be
want
very
7-Elevens on every street corner, kinda like Starbucks or liquor stores.
well, yeah, that's true. Exactly.
What's
That's something
important?
we
What's
need more of is
important?
more liquor stores.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. Well, our last topic, I wanted to share with you kind of some information on this. I was on a really great call with Fran Data, and there's actually a large need out there for franchise lenders that do the smaller loans, and I thought that was really interesting. And again, their definition is, of course, 500,000 and under.
Right.
And I know there's a lot of institutions out there that don't mind playing in that small space. So don't be afraid to reach out to Fran Data and your franchises and be able to offer that service, because a lot of the big dogs are doing big dog deals. So I just wanted to kind of share that out there, because there's opportunity out there even for those smaller ones. And again, as SBA really wants that access to capital for small loans, this is
Mhm.
another way to do it and protect your risk.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thanks for, sharing that. All right, guys. Well, it's somewhat of a short show today because there's not too much going on other than that. However, we love spending time with you. Again, if you want breaking live news, video wise, go ahead and join us next week, Tuesdays, live here on LinkedIn and or YouTube, or join us on any of the streaming platforms for audio. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Okay.
See you later.
See ya.